Hey, Grandma and Grandpa, I am doing what I said I would do, even though it's taken forever. I know. I'm gonna read the book. Like I said, a lot of this is just like to help me work on my enunciation because I have, just some bad enunciation sometimes. And also just kind of get used to being on camera, which I think is something I would like to do, work on like YouTube channel and things like that, which is stuff for another time. I'm gonna start doing YouTube videos of adventures and stuff like that in a format that I'm excited to like work with. Yeah, so I'm gonna be doing that. I'm gonna be reading books and things like that. But this is take one. I hope the audio is good. Oh shoot, I should do this next time. But this is the microphone that you got me for my birthday. I need to set it up. But yeah, this is part of why I got it. So anyway, couldn't find the book I wanted to find and read to you, but this is one that I think is pretty cool. It's nonfiction. I don't know if you and Grandpa like fiction. I love my audiobooks and things like that I love to listen to. Part of what I like to write as well is mostly the fiction, but just to get right into it and stop looking for excuses like I don't have the right book. I'm just going to read this book that I got in my English class, and I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm going to read the preface of The Thinking Life. Pretty cool. When the idea of writing a book that would rediscover the merits of the thinking life was still coalescing in the mind, one day I jotted down a couple of paragraphs with what, in essence, was the rationale behind the project. Quite uncharacteristically, those paragraphs were in the form of a report by a visitor to Earth from another galaxy. Having put them aside while I considered other projects, I had half forgotten them when I found them in a binder's pocket. This is what it is. As the first week of my mission on Earth comes to a close, I must report a puzzling find. You remember that in a previous message, I described the ability that all humans have to silently converse within their own selves. This internal conversation, which they call thinking, allows them to take stock of the world around them and to plan their most suitable ways of dealing with it. If there is something that I could determine for sure about life on Earth, it is that happiness is the most coveted good, and that it is a byproduct of the good life. You will then fully understand the importance of thinking when I tell you that it is virtually impossible to build a good life without the foundation of good thinking. What has been puzzling to me is the cavalier way in which humans use such a core faculty. Any intergalactic visitor would be as struck as I am by their overindulging in thought avoidance. The amount of their time spent in serious thinking does not even get close to that spent in mindless entertainment and the exchange of unnecessary information. From lack of thoughtful awareness in any situation in which they find themselves, to the failure to prepare for adversity, inadequate thinking is without a doubt the number one cause of their grief and sorrow. Even to a novice student of the human experience, it becomes immediately apparent that good thinking is the necessary prelude to making good decisions. Training their children in it has to be a primary concern for human parents, you would think. Well, it is not. Does such training occupy a prominent position in the school's curricula? It does not. And so good thinking fails to become second nature. On account of lack of thinking, humans keep arriving unprepared to the crossroads of their lives when they must make decisions upon which the quality in their remaining time on Earth depends. In sum, a distinctive human character is the inclination to relentlessly pursue the trivial, that makes them a waste of an enormous amount of time and energy that would be better spent on matters of consequence. It is heartbreaking indeed to witness the unwitting sabotage of their own lives, because this is what their avoidance of serious thinking amounts to. I wonder what it is going to take for them to realize how crucial this issue is, and to start a serious effort to reform their ways. Now, I am not one who believes that when nobody is looking, Now, I am not one who believes that when nobody is looking, extraterrestrial spaceships make scheduled stops in Paramus, New Jersey. In fact, I am not even a science fiction fan. However, I know that a familiar landscape often escapes attention. It is the eyes of the stranger when it is the eyes of the stranger that see what remains unnoticeable under the varnish of the ordinary. In this case, the stranger was the Now, I am not one who believes that when nobody is looking, extraterrestrial spaceships make scheduled stops in New Jersey. In fact, I'm not even a science fiction fan. However, I know that a familiar landscape often escapes attention. It is the eyes of the stranger that see what remains unnoticeable under the varnish of the ordinary. In this case, the stranger was the extragalactic visitor who is struck by the fact that humans don't seem to realize that they are not thinking nearly as much as they should. My challenge with this book is to make a few suggestions upon changing that situation. I want to get as many people as possible to get serious about serious thinking. In this age that has many distractions in the way of life, the essence of my message could not be simpler. Think if you wish to thrive. In conveying it, I have enlisted some of the most influential thinkers from antiquity, such as Aristotle, Plato, and Marcus Aurelius. Being the product of an education that placed emphasis on the classics, I am at ease in their presence and enjoy pointing out all that in their thinking is relevant to our... I am at ease in their presence and enjoying... Being the product of an education that placed emphasis on the classics, I am at ease in their presence and enjoy pointing out all that in their thinking is relevant to our lives today. The essential features of human life have not changed in the last 2,500 years, and the eloquent wisdom Athens and Rome have bequeathed us with is still eminently applicable. Why reinvent the wheel when somebody is handing you a well-crafted and perfectly functioning one? This book will acquaint or reacquaint you with the basic and best in thinking habits and thinking skills. Ultimately, the good life is the thinking life. If you want to reach its sunny shores, you'd better rediscover the causeways of thinking. It is by choosing to think that you are going to take the first necessary steps towards life's elusive grand prize, true happiness. My job is a very gratifying one. It is making it easier for you to take that step. Chapter 1. Introspection. Self-knowledge for success. Know thyself. If you travel about 100 miles northwest of Athens without straying from the coastal line of the Gulf of Corinth, you will find yourself at the feet of Mount Paranissus. On a southwestern cleft of that 8,000-foot limestone colossus, known for being home to the Muses, the Temple of Apollo awaits you at Delphi. It is here that the most famous oracle of all Greece once spoke. Unfortunately, not much is left of the architectural marvel erected on a sacred place said to be the navel of the world. Yet, just standing where once stood the vestibule to the temple may fill you with awe. This is where the words, "Know thyself," were inscribed at the onset of the great Hellenic philosophical season of Plato and the like. Not just a generic exhortation to pursue knowledge, the two-word humanist manifesto identified the self as the object of the intellectual quest. Introspection received at Delphi the most prestigious of endorsements. A reflective looking inward, quote, an examination of one's own thoughts and feelings, is how Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary, 11th edition, defines introspection, while the Free Dictionary by Farlex lists among its synonyms self-examination, reflection, and soul-searching. When the object of your reflection is not the world around you, but rather the world inside you, you've crossed into introspection territory. Ultimately, introspection is about getting to know oneself, a task that antiquity considered essential to the building of a good life. But why are we so seldom eager to take a look inside us? Because it requires time and effort, and because we are leery of what we might find. Part of introspection is asking difficult questions that may entail uncomfortable answers about ourselves. Also, we have not been taught why we should engage in introspection and how. It is through introspection that we've obtained the self-knowledge allowing us to bring positive change to our lives. By engaging in it, you will be able to see when it is not the world that needs to reform, but rather yourself. Do not waste that moment of clarity. You are the territory you need to discover before you set out to discover any other. If you are like most people, you are walking around with uncharted lands in your soul. You can look inside you on your own with a friend or a loved one, a spouse, with several. You can look inside you on your own. You can look inside you on your own with a friend, a spouse, other loved ones, or even under the supervision of an expert. You do not need any tools, but can write down your thoughts in a journal if you wish. The important thing is that you actually do it. On a daily basis, carve some of your precious time to review all the major choices you have made in the past 24 hours, trying all the while to be as dispassionate as you can in your judgment of how you handled yourself. Every month or so, review the larger picture of your life. Your introspection may lead you to realize that you can't take care of your problems on your own. That is not a defeat. That is introspection serving you well. Be good to yourself. Have the courage and the humility and the good sense to seek help without delay. That's probably all I'm going to read from the book right now, but I just think it's pretty cool. As I'm learning in psychology, a big part of having a healthy mind is being able to look inside yourself without being judgmental of what it is. Like, it's good to have judgment. We are supposed to, judge wisely, but, you need to be able to look inside yourself without feeling like you have to hide anything from yourself, even, subconsciously. Because, if you look inside yourself and say, oh, I don't like that part of myself, that is bad, I'm a bad person, then you're actually train yourself to kind of not be honest with yourself, which kind of leads to some mental distress. So I just think that that's an interesting thing, and I'll talk more about that in other videos. It's a very zen way of looking at things, looking inside yourself with just complete neutrality. Yep, I do that habit. And but not saying and I am a bad person for doing that bad habit. It's no, I do that bad habit. And just looking inward, things like that. Anyway, this is just a test video. I'd love to know how you guys feel about it. Even if you just fall asleep to it or whatever, that would make me happy. I'm just here to talk. Okay, now this is the other part, the segment, the Josh segment of the Josh Talk Show. There's a cool card game we played at FHE called We're Not Really Strangers. And it's a really cool thing where it's in order to learn more about each other, it's just all these icebreaker questions. And there's level 1, level 2, and level 3. And they get increasingly more intimate. And that increasingly surface level to more intimate levels, that path helps you, connect with someone faster. It's what Tess and I did on one of our earliest dates. And it has helped us bond. So it's pretty cool. So maybe I'm going to pull out a card, and I'm pretending you're pulling out a card for me. And then I'm just going to answer it so you can get to know me. What is a compliment I wish I received more frequently? One that Tessa loves to give me that I really like is that I have green eyes. I guess, the Frankum side, they have all the cool blue eyes, but I was always told I have brown eyes growing up. But I don't know if it shows it right now, but I have hazel eyes, so that's pretty cool. I hope this isn't a stupid thing. And I hope it's better in person, I will admit. I hope you like this. I hope this is good. Again, these will get better as we go on, hopefully. If you want to send me anything to read, I will read anything. Like, if you like, I want Josh to read a certain book or something, or whatever. I will read any bedtime stories or whatever, or just Sunday nap stories. This is good for both of us, hopefully. Well, it's good for me at least. Anyway, that's all I have. I might start sending you readings of stuff that I've written myself, if you like that. But anyway, here's this. I love you guys. Okay, that is all I had for recorded stuff, but now I'm editing through things, and here is just a bunch of junk that didn't make it into the video. So if you want to watch that, you can. And here it is. Deleted scenes, if you will. Man, my throat gets so dry. I hope you can't hear the drinking sounds. This whole setup will get better as we go along this summer. But anyway. Okay. Now the introduction. That was the preface. Now the introduction, which seems redundant to me. Slightly. Introduction. Thinking seriously about serious thinking. See, okay, side note. This is like the thing with like talking. Is that like, I don't know why. There's so many little things that like come up. Like, almost like random like little burps or whatever. And like I have to clear my throat and my mouth gets dry and yada, yada, yada. But I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to like relax and like not talk like this, because that's called vocal fry when you're talking like this and you had, a question mark to the end of your sentences. And I'm really working on R and L sounds because that's my thing. Grandpa, the dentist, will maybe get a kick of this. Or maybe he'll say I'm in my head too much and just need to work on my enunciation. But I think like my lower bottom teeth are like slightly curved in and squished. So like my tongue feels like too fat for the bottom of my mouth, if that makes sense. I can't see my camera right now, so I hope maybe you're just gonna get a kick out of this at your delightful grandchild just looking like he's screaming at the camera. But look at that. I don't know. Anyway, also I hope the audio is good. Again, I'm gonna use the microphone next time. I hope to get at least 1 or 2 of these a week. At least to start out with. I want to do more. Like ideally, I would do it like just 15 minutes every day, and then send you like a package of like 7 messages or something like that for the week. But you know what? We're working up to it. I'm seeing how this all fits in my schedule still. Okay, now the reading. Introduction. Thinking seriously about serious thinking. Serious. Thinking seriously about serious thinking. So those R sounds. Anyway. By the beginning of 2009, the average American cell phone user was sending or receiving nearly 400 texts a month, more than a 4-fold increase from 2006. The average American teen was off. Okay, honestly, it's very outdated information. Anyway, it's basically just saying people spend time on their phone, which was crazy in 2009, but now people have it way worse now, and you can't almost do anything without a phone, it feels like, at least with my classes. Anyway, I'm going to stop just yapping, and I need to work on my enunciation. That's why we're here. Okay. Aren't a society's competitiveness and its prospects for a better future rooted in more than sheer technology? No, I'm not going to do this one. No. Okay. I'm going to cut that out. Or maybe I'll just leave it in so you can see me deal with this. Okay, now I'm going to just read the book. Stop talking. Okay. Chapter 1. Why you don't think and why you should. Heads down, We are allowing ourselves to be ever more entranced by the unsifted trivia of life. That's the quote. I don't know what that means. Okay. Doing what is of the essence. They took their name from the Stoia. Oh my gosh. I don't like this. No. This is another chapter. Come on. Okay, this is the one I wanted to find. Okay, I'm just going to put all this yammering at the end. And then I'll just skip from like the reading to this reading. So this is, right now we're in the behind the scenes. Editor, Josh, who's editing this video probably. Anyway, okay. Chapter 1. It's actually chapter 5, but okay.